Think of a word, a positive word, and it may just be a chronicle shared in this space. Let's make life more meaningful. Today we are talking about setting goals for ourselves and our lives and why it's important for our survival. Let's get into today's episode. If this is something that you'll enjoy or you just enjoy listening to my voice, please continue to stick around. Season 2! I cannot contain my excitement, mainly because of the fact that when I ended season 1, I thought that would have been it. But when you have a yearning and just a passion and a purpose to just continue to do, what you love and just, evolve in this space, you're not finished with it yet. I'm just so excited. Season 2, y'all. Let that sink in. You can't violate, man. Season 2. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for everybody who enjoys coming back to this space as well, for whatever purpose it's curating in your life. I'm just so excited. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm excited. So welcome to season 2. Welcome to these brand new episodes. Granted, I'm not going to even lie to you all that I think I've only written about 4 or 5 episodes thus far for this season, but hey, we will see where it takes us. So thank you everyone for returning to this little corner on the internet. Thank you for returning to this space. I hope I'm able to impart some level of information to you that can resonate and that you can lead a more meaningful life. So without further ado, let's get into season 2, episode 1, Goal Setting Chronicles. Now, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. That's taken from Proverbs chapter 21, verses 5. You can always revert back. It's on the intro screen if at any point in time you forget while I'm speaking it. Now, let's break down Proverbs 21, verse 5. The definition of, goals or goal setting. The definition of the word goal is the end toward which effort is directed. Now, in layman terms, a goal is the means to an end. It's that simple. It is something that you work towards achieving, whether good or bad, and hopefully it's with good intention. And if you've listened to season 1, you know that in this space we exude positivity. We're not naive because we know that challenges exist, but we exude positivity. So in this sense, it's a good means to the end. Now let's get into more of what goal setting is and how can we make goal setting a priority based on Proverbs 21 verse 5. This life is absolutely beautiful. I'll be the first to admit that. Many a times it has surprised me. I've had that wow factor. I've been on cloud 9. I've been in the heavens. It has truly surprised me. So this life is absolutely beautiful. And in a sense, it's easy. And that's something that I believe. The living is hard, but life is truly easy, in my opinion. For starters, we have human dynamics to consider, which makes the living challenging. We aim to find our purpose. We aim to find out who we are. Lastly, why we're here. So in that context, the living is hard. This roller coaster journey called living isn't made for the weak, but rather to strengthen what we may think are our weaknesses. I hope you got that. This roller coaster journey called living isn't made for the weak, but rather to strengthen what we may think are our weaknesses. Now with that, it's essential to set or pursue achievable tasks in order for some semblance of ease of living to be felt. I'm trying to tie that into experiences that I'm currently going through, because if I say that life is easy but the living is hard, when we're trying to set and achieve these goals, that within of itself is hard. So it sometimes leads us to wonder, what's the point? Excuse me, what's the point in setting the goals, in setting the plans, to try to achieve if, the journey within of itself is going to be so difficult. But nonetheless, we pursue what needs to be achieved, because without having some semblance of a plan or without having something to work towards, we're just existing in this space, and I don't agree with that. So yeah, it's some semblance of ease of living to be felt, especially selfless tasks. That which doesn't serve us but serve God. Because I have said in several episodes and several times before, all things come from God. Therefore, Him as our priority will allow all else, meaning everything else that we need to do, everything else that we need to accomplish, to be accomplished. Once He's at the center, once we come out of slumber each waking day that God allows us to, and we just acknowledge Him, in His space, in His presence, and vice versa, everything else will come forth. Therefore, making goal setting a priority is very important, and start doing it now. Do it now. If you're not on a plan, all of them always say when man a plan, God a wife. But I mean, if you don't have some semblance of a plan, or if you have nothing to which that you're working towards to offer some semblance of self-fulfillment, what you do? If you're not, no ambition, no goal, no nothing where you work towards, what are you doing? Serious question to answer for yourself, not for anybody else. Now, goal setting leads to an abundance and a lifestyle of gratitude. Don't fight me on this. Even if you're far from achieving your goal, or you think you cannot achieve your goal, just setting the goal, just writing it down. I was watching a millionaire podcast the other day, and literally the dude said, write down your list of goals, write down things that you want to do, because that's your goal. Those are things that you want to indulge in, those are things that you want to do, partake in, experience. That's a goal. You don't have to always be that you're going to achieve some tangible or some material possession at the end of it. No, man. Sometimes you set a goal for improve your mentality, for improve your spirituality, for improve the way you think. You get what I'm saying? Breathing techniques. A goal really truly is anything, right? So I was watching that episode the other day, and him literally said, just write it down. Just write it down. So start by writing it down. Start by creating an overall plan for your life. You get what I'm saying? That's number one. Just create a plan. Just write it down. But always remember, like I just literally say, you see, when man a plan, God a wipe. So in other words, you see, if God not in it, just And I said this with sincerity, don't get me wrong, and I'll explain. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. So that's what I'm saying. If God is not in it, forget it. You understand? Just make it purposeful and put God at the forefront, because He knows those plans already. He has declared it. He knows. So in other words, God has a bigger picture at the end of the day. He's already figured this out for you. He just needs us to set out on the journey in this big vast world, achieving His desired will. And we'll do this by setting the goals. Now, let me see if I can put that point into perspective. You ever sitting down idly on your bed, you're either watching a show and you get some level of inspiration for whatever the show is, but it's a thought that has come out of nowhere. Has anybody ever experienced that? I've experienced that time and again, and that is how I'm able to curate these episodes and formulate it in this podcast. And I love chat. I love to speak. So I'll have these inspirational ideas that come through out of nowhere. It's like picking it out of thin air. And when it comes like that, for me, with a sense of peace, a sense of clarity, I just know, say, all right, this one is from God. So let me write it down. Let me see how best I can put it into practice to make it come to fruition. If you understand what I'm saying. Hopefully I don't say that throughout season 2 too much, if you understand what I'm saying, because while we're listening to season 1, that's why it's good for do some introspection and self-reflection. So hopefully I don't have to say that line too much. But anyway, let's get back into it. How can we set goals? What can be the initiator for setting our goals? How we can start? Because not all ideas are going to come out of thin air. Some of them have to put pen to paper. Yes, so whatever we conceive in our mind, we'll write it down on paper, and that's how essentially we're going to start. So, establish your prayer line. That's number 1. For setting goals as priority, establish your prayer line. Why? How else you gonna achieve the plan without going to the source? Remember, stop saying everything comes from God. So how else will you achieve it if you don't go to the source? Ask God what He has laid out for you, and please listen for the answer. Please understand you can ask Him for any and everything your heart desires, but remember to be patient and listen for His answer. Don't go before God. That is what is called leaning onto your own understanding. Do not go before the source. Are you going to go before the source? Don't go before the source. Be patient in that which you have asked Him for. Okay? Secondly, establish a realistic time frame for what you're trying to achieve. Please Establish also a realistic time frame for what you are asking of God to achieve for you. What foolishness exists when a goal is set without a realistic time frame to achieve it? I've fallen victim of that. I swear I can make $1 million in one day. Foolishness. What foolishness? Right? So remember to be diligent, y'all, not hasty. Proverbs 21 verse 5. Remember to be diligent. Okay, set a realistic time frame to achieve anything that you want to achieve. Some things can be achieved in a minute, some things can be achieved in a decade. Some things also will not be achieved in your lifetime. You will have to have a continuation of it while you're not here. So what legacy are you putting down? You understand what I'm saying? So, realistic time frame, all right? Third point, prioritize your goals. Now, I can confirm with factual evidence that you will never be able to do or accomplish or focus on multiple goals at the same time. I stole that from somewhere, not word for word, but yeah. So, I can confirm, because I've experienced it myself, that you will never be able to focus on more than one goal at the same time. Don't come for me. Based off my experience and what I've seen to be true, it's just impossible. And I said what I said because I had the facts. The facts being, God took 6 days to create the earth. Abe. So therefore you tried him, not me. But it's true. God never set out to make the world in one day. Each day he had a different focus. He had a different priority. And it was in chronological order. Day 1, day 2, day 3, until him just reached 6 and I said, listen, my time to rest. So you have to prioritize your goals. You have to put them in a sense of order. And let me tell you, even if you write them down, sometimes if you do from, for example, 1 to 5, sometimes you find out that you're achieving 5 or 4 before you actually achieve 1. Right? So it worked out itself. It prioritized itself. So prioritize your goals. Okay? And just understand that you can't do all of them at one point in time. You can't cook while ironing. Something not gonna burn up. Something is gonna burn up. So don't let your goals burn up because you failed to prioritize properly, okay? 4, exercise patience. Hopefully this is 4. Exercise patience. Be patient. That ties in back with number 1. Just be patient. And number 2, actually, a common misconception in life is that, and I'll use this example because it's so common, we draw from it so many times today in our life. A common misconception in life is that rich people get what they want right away. What a piece of lie. What a deceit in the world. And forget rich people. A common misconception is that you must get what you want when you want it at this given moment. No, stop it. Please don't go any further with that thought. Please understand that it is not so. Right? If we even have to wait for 1 second, a millisecond, it didn't happen right away and we have to wait. We never click with finger. No. So time, my beautiful gems, it doesn't wait on us ever. We always will have to wait on time. So exercise patience. Delayed gratification is something that I think within this experience now, life now, we don't seem to have anymore. We don't seem to want anymore. We just want things right away. And then we're oftentimes led to a great disappointment when that expectation is not met. We have to learn to exercise patience. Okay? So when you're setting your goals, understand patience. It is the means to the end. It's very good to be patient. It's very good to wait on the Lord. Be of good cheer. Just wait, no man. Wait, brother. Wait, sister. Just wait. 5th, express gratitude when you achieve or not achieve what you attempted to accomplish. Please express gratitude. If it happened, how excellent, how magnificent that you were able to achieve what you set out to accomplish. If it didn't, how excellent, how magnificent that you were able to create habits to prioritize a task in your life that enable you to build your character, offer due diligence of learning to enjoy the roller coaster of life, that journey nonetheless. How excellent. You committed yourself to achieving something to which you desired. That is great, even if it did not work out, whether it didn't work out now or whether it didn't work out overall, because like I said, you can pass on. And the legacy that you leave behind, hopefully it would have been good and cheerful and positive, that someone would want to continue that body of work. So remember, heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. Go and set some achievable and positive goals, y'all. Give yourself the time and diligence to making life more meaningful. Okay? Thank you for listening as always, and until next time, peace and love and light. Bye everyone.